I had a situation where I had to directly disobey ROC, but I know I made the right move. Man, so I had a little situation come up this morning. Felt like it was important to talk about. Coming back from DSD1, finishing up a 4-stop load, and was heading back, and on the way back from that load, being a good boy, Lou, on the way back I get a call from Amazon. They have a trailer recovery down in Otay, and they wanted it picked up before the other one was going to be, like, the other one was chalked out till like 6, and they're like, oh, we need it picked up at like 5. Now here's the thing, I could have made it. But because of how they schedule stuff now, because of that whole ineligible driver, he wanted to send it over to me for 5, and I'm like, listen, because of how you guys schedule things, I need you to send this to me at like a 6:30 start time. I mean, my other one was ending at 6. I'm like, you gotta, that way I'm allowed to like schedule myself to it and everything like that. This isn't really an important part of the story, but I just, you know, it's kind of, I like showing you the experience of Amazon, and sometimes you may feel like the pressure of like, hey, I want to please this person and get the load done, but you have to protect yourself. You know, you got that, if he had sent it over to me at 5, I would have been an ineligible driver and wouldn't have been able to assign myself as a driver. Now, what I told him personally on the phone was, listen, if you send this to me at 6:30, I promise you I'll get there before 5 o'clock. I'm gonna finish this DSD1 run I'm on right now, this last leg of this trip. I'm gonna finish this. I'll probably even be there like even before then, but I'll get it done when you want. But just for my scheduling purposes, I need you to send it to me for 6:30, and that's why I have 2 incoming calls from Amazon. The first time was like him calling to offer it to me. The second time was him, he had to check and be sure that that would be okay, and the second call was him confirming that yes, it was in fact okay. But you know, kind of like the pressures you feel when you're out running these loads of like, I want to do what's right by you, but also never forget you have to do what's right for you too. The first kind of mistake I made on this was letting my confidence override my common sense. When he told me the trailer was on Otay Mesa Road, a road I'm very familiar with. I'm at In-N-Out, so there's background noise in the drive-through and stuff, but yeah, that's who you hear talking in the background. When he told me it was on Otay Mesa Road, that confidence I had of like, oh, I know that fine, I didn't focus on the GPS coordinates. I've said on here before, when you do these trailer recoveries, they do usually pay well. Be sure and have the agent send you over the GPS coordinates. I kind of let that familiarity of my my familiarity of the area just kind of like override everything. What do they say? Familiarity breeds contempt. I'm definitely guilty of that. So I finished that DSD1 run, and it's time to go now start looking for the trailer for the first time, and Amazon GPS is sending me down by Brown Field. The GPS coordinates he sent over to me said it's at the gate, the check-in gate at San 5. Now there's about 4 miles difference between those two, and you know, it was my own fault. I'm now kind of having to look for that trailer. I drove down to the Brown Field location first. No trailer ID even. You know, I always say, you know, you always want those you always look back and think like, man, I wish I had a screenshot of that. I didn't take a screenshot of it. I can't prove it to you, but once I had started this load, they hadn't assigned a trailer ID. So now I'm being sent all around Otay Mesa Road looking for a trailer that I don't have the trailer ID for. So I get to where the Amazon GPS is sending me to, but down by Brown Field. For some reason, even though it's like they're treating it like not an Amazon location, but they're just giving me, I'm not getting the geofence is my point there. I pull up to where the trailer's supposed to be, but it's not, and it's there. And so I start looking at those coordinates for the first time and realize, okay, well, they're telling me that the trailer is at San 5. So I head down to San 5, looking for the trailer. It's not there. I go ahead and pull up to the gate, see my buddy JT working up there. What up, JT? And I pull up in there and I'm like, hey, they sent me down here for an abandoned trailer. Do you know anything about that? And he's like, yeah, some guy that just pulled in here was talking about the same thing, that he had a trailer that he was having to leave. You know, it's inside the gate and everything like that. I get pulled into San 5, put a call-in request to ROC, and this is where the trouble kind of starts for me. So I get the trailer attached, but here's the problem. The app is still saying, hey, drive down to that Brown Field location and get your geofence. They can't check me in at San 5. My VRID wasn't due at San 5. They can't do anything for me. And if they could have done anything for me, I know they would have. I mean, I know the people involved, top-notch people. I mean, they would have done it. There's nothing for me to do, and I'm just waiting on this callback. So I hook up the trailer, leave San 5, don't have to check out because I don't have a VRID for there. And I'm kind of like, what to do. And this is one of those times where I love kind of sharing these weird experiences, because though I don't anticipate this video to be like super popular, I do find as time goes on that there are people out there who have these same weird experiences for themselves, and it's kind of like, you know, if not knowing, I mean, I was literally put on into a situation where I kind of like had to start thinking on my feet. There's really not an explanation what to do. If I go, here are my choices. If I go to if I go to DSD4 where this trailer recovery is heading to, I'm gonna get hit for app usage. They're gonna say you didn't hit the geofence. Because I didn't hit the geofence, you didn't attach the trailer. Got the helicopter out here shining the light. Maybe they're looking for somebody. That'll be fun. Maybe this will turn into an exciting video. But I wouldn't have had the trailer attached. Wouldn't have had the geofence. Would have get hit for app usage for sure. And it's like, I need to get that geofence in order to do what Amazon tells me I need to do on the load. About that time, I get the call back from ROC, and they're like, oh yeah, Luke, settle down. About the time I get the call back from ROC, they're like, oh yeah, just advance the load, just advance the load. I get another phone call, Luke, you gotta be calm, but Lou makes this difficult. I get another call from somebody at the facility. They were able to look up my number and they call me. They're like, hey, we're really waiting on this trailer. Can you deliver this early for us? We're waiting on you. And it's like, sure, but I need to check in first. And so this is one of those times where I was put into a situation where everybody from Amazon, the site, ROC is just telling me to advance the load, but that puts me in a bad situation because I know my performance is gonna get hit. And now with only getting one shot at these appeals, it's like, what, you know, I need an option where there's a winning part, or where there's a winning option for me in there. So what did I opt to do? I drove my truck with the trailer back down to that brownfield location where they were directing me to. Their check-in spots, their geofences have gotten a lot tighter than they used to be. It used to be like if you were within like half a mile and you exited navigation, it would come up saying, welcome to this, welcome to that. It wouldn't do it. The other kind of question I have, and I haven't been in a situation where I've had to use that remote check-in. I haven't been in a situation like that in forever. I tried it several times heading down Otay Mesa Road, like trying to do the remote check-in, and it kept coming up with this message saying, you're too far away, you're too far away. So maybe they've changed that. Maybe the remote check-in isn't a thing. But like an idiot, I drove down to where they said it was on Otay Mesa. I was on one side of the road. It's a 6-lane road. It was 4th of July morning, not a lot of traffic. I parked the truck, throw on the 4-way flashers. I had to walk across the street. I ran across the street to where it actually told me I was, and for there, the first time, I finally got my mobile geofence, my mobile thing, and at that point I was able to do what I needed to do of actually entering in the trailer ID, attaching it to my trailer, and then from that point forward I knew I was good to go, and kind of, you know, that my performance metric there wouldn't be hit on this. So did I do what ROC said initially, you know, take the trailer up there, advance the load? No, I did not. I kind of disobeyed ROC. You know, I knew the site wanted it. The thing is, and this is kind of why I share this, you're gonna have different things. You're gonna be put into several situations where you're gonna have different people pulling at you, and I still wanna get the job done. I still wanna get the job done right, but I need to get it done in a way that protects myself. Protecting myself is first and foremost. So, you know, had I done what ROC said, had I done what the site said, and just immediately headed there and not got that geofence, I'd be sitting here tonight telling you how to do a performance dispute on a trailer recovery. I now don't have to do that, but I share this story with you so that, oh, I think In-N-Out's closing down. So that if you're ever in this situation, I mean, definitely get the GPS coordinates. Even if you're pretty familiar with where you're going, get those GPS coordinates. And if you're ever in a situation like this where they're telling you the trailer's here, but the trailer's over here, you might have to go over here to just kind of fake manually get, not manually, but you may have to drive over here to get that geofence to do the necessary steps so that it doesn't look like you weren't using the app. I hope this video serves you well. Appreciate you for watching. Take care. Will you sit? Sit. Good boy.